all I want to do is read this verse to you to kind of get things started, and maybe we'll see a recurring theme happening through some of these scriptures, and maybe they will reveal to us some truth as we look at these things that are happening on the world scene as well in today's day and age. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 11 through 20 state, "Be on guard lest you forget Yahweh your Elohim by not guarding his commands and his right rulings and his laws which I command you today, lest you eat and shall be satisfied, and build lovely houses and shall dwell in them, and your herds and your flocks increase, and your silver and your gold are increased, and all that you have is increased, that your heart then becomes lifted up, and you forget Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, from the house of bondage, who led you through that great and awesome wilderness, fiery serpents and scorpions and thirst, where there was no water, who brought water for you out of the flinty rock, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers did not know, in order to humble you and to try you, and to do you good in the end. And then shall say in your heart, my power and my strength, the strength of my hand have made for me this wealth. But you shall remember Yahweh your Elohim, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, in order to establish his covenant which he swore to your fathers, as it is today. And it shall be, if you by any means forget Yahweh your Elohim, and follow other false gods, and serve them, and bow yourselves to them, I have warned you this day that you shall certainly perish. Like the nations which Yahweh is destroying before you, so you are to perish, because you did not obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim." You see, when a nation is blessed by the Elohim of the heavens, and they gain wealth, and they gain riches, and beautiful houses, they soon will forget their Elohim, their God. They forget the blessings that were given to them from up on high. And they begin to say that they did this by the strength of their own hands. Yes, it's true. If this doesn't ring true to you about the state of affairs in particularly America, but the Western world, or all over the world today, where people are claiming that they have gained their riches by their own might, by their own power, and they have forgotten the Creator of the heavens above. And therefore, like the nations which Yahweh has destroyed before, so will those nations perish, because they do not obey the voice of Yahweh their Elohim. You see, we go into Jeremiah. If I look in Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 5. Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 5. "Thus says Yahweh, cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart turns away from Yahweh." So we see that when we have become rich, or when a people, when a nation, when some people become wealthy off of the blessings that they have received, and they become fat and they become secure, and they turn away from the one who gave them those blessings and take all of the credit for themselves, When things start to go wrong, they think that they can fix things themselves. And cursed is the man or person who trusts in another person to be his strength. So when we put all of our faith and all of our trust in these people who we are trusting in to take care of us, to provide for us, to do anything, to give us food stamps, to give us phones, to build a wall, to give us tax breaks. When we start trusting in them to make our lives better, and we put our faith in them, that they are going to save a country, well, that is when a people becomes cursed. And their heart turns away from Yahweh. We can look into the Psalms. We'll go through a couple of Psalms here. The Psalms are great because they are written by one of the greatest leaders in all of history. A man whose heart was after the heart of his Elohim, Yahweh El Shaddai. We should be facing him and turning to him and seeking his heart and his desires, not trusting in man. Psalm 40 and verse 4 says, "Blessed is the man who has made Yahweh his trust, and has not turned to the proud and those turning aside to falsehood." You see, cursed is the man who puts his trust in man and says, that's going to be my strength. But blessed is the man who puts his trust in Yahweh and has not turned to the proud and those turning aside to falsehood. You know, I remember singing as a kid, "I'm proud to be an American." And after 9/11 happened, there was all this American pride paraphernalia. And people are proud of their rights. They're proud of they're proud. And we have probably one of the most proud people leading this nation. And I'm not, that's no disrespect. Pride is part of America as a nation for many, and that's why we're seeing a lot of people saying they're not proud of this nation. You see, once a nation becomes to be cursed, things start to go downhill like that. Blessed is the man who has made Yahweh his trust and has not turned to the proud and to those turning aside to falsehood. And I'm sorry, but all of these lies have been coming forth about politicians and government officials. All of these lies are coming to light. Why? Because the truth is being revealed no matter what. And we can't put our faith and trust in people who are prideful and who turn to falsehood. Psalm chapter 49. Psalm chapter 49 verses 5 and 6. "Why should I fear in the days of evil, when the crookedness of my supplanters surrounds me? Those who are trusting in their riches and who are boasting in their great wealth." You see, we're not to fear in the days of evil when our supplanters surround us, when those who are trusting in their riches and who are boasting in their wealth, who are turning aside to falsehood, and who are proud, surround us. We are not to fear in the days of evil. And we're kind of starting to see establish what the days of evil are. Psalm 52. Psalm 52 says, "Why do you boast in evil, O mighty man?" They boast about the things that they've done and that they can get away with. But the kindness of El is all day long. Your tongue devises destruction. Like a sharp razor working deceit, you loved evil more than good, lying more than speaking righteousness. Selah. You loved all devouring words, O tongue of deceit. Let El also break you down forever. Take you and pluck you out of your tent, and he shall uproot you from the land of the living. Selah. And let the righteous see and fear, and laugh at him, saying, See the man who did not make Elohim his strength, but trusted in his many riches, being strong in his destruction. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of Elohim. I have trusted in the kindness of Elohim forever and ever. I thank you forever, because you have done it. And in the presence of your kind ones, I wait on your name, for it is good. Why do you boast, O mighty man, who trusts in your riches? But your downfall will be great. But I am like a green olive tree. I have trusted in the kindness of Elohim. And in the presence of your kind ones, I wait on your name, for it is good. See, we do not fear when the crookedness of our supplanters surrounds us, because we wait on Elohim, for he is good. We'll come back. Shalom.